Hello, it's Mr. Burns here from Casa Burns. It's Monday evening, and it is beautiful outside, so I thought I would take this outside. We have our final set of vocabulary, which is very exciting. Our final new set of vocabularies is economics vocabulary set 2. All right, you should have handout number 9 in front of you, which is your vocab set 2 chart, 10 words, and the due dates. Remember, your homework is to do the right 2 columns, colored pictures, and your own definition. And the dates here are going to be for 4th and 8th period, Monday, May 2nd, which seems like an eternity away, but it's there. All right, and then let's make this so you can see it a little better. Monday, May 2nd. There will be an economics quiz on that day as well. And then we have 1st, 3rd, and 5th periods, Friday, April 28th. This is because of Out to Work Day. We're going to flip it back around from gold blue to blue gold after Out to Work Day. So, yeah, for 1st, 3rd, and 5th, you get a little bit less time to work on this than 4th and 8th, but that's just the way it is. All right, so don't forget about Out to Work Day. Find someone to shadow in a job or a position that you want to work in one day, or you're interested in, you want to learn more about. You should focus on that more so than just ease of working with your parents. If you don't like what your parents do, find someone else. Okay, make contact. All right, here we go. We have currency. This is our first definition here. System of money in general use in a particular country. The United States currency is the dollar. You have the pound in Britain. You have the euro in much of Europe, the European Union. You have all kinds of different currency around the world, and usually there's some form of if it's with a dollar in the United States, how much is it worth? If you want to exchange it or whatever. Canada has a dollar as well. That's currency. It's usually coins. It's usually paper bills. It could be done online as well or through deposits. Okay, currency. All right. Our second word, cost of production. Okay, it's just basically what it says in the definition. It's how much it costs to produce or make goods and services. Okay, so the goal of a producer is to limit their cost of production so that they can increase their profits. So they try to make a good quality product at a lower price using more efficient goods, more efficient materials, resources, more efficient technologies. It's right in the word there. All right, our third word is efficiency. Minimizing waste. You're being efficient. You are, if you're efficient with your homework, you do it but in the least amount of time possible. You're not wasting time. You're not taking breaks. You're not getting distracted. You're not multitasking. You do other things. You boom, boom, boom. You get it done so that you can move on to something else. And this is done in the business world through producers, making sure that the resources that they're using the most of the resource or all of the resource to its fullest capacity, to its best ability, getting most output from that resource. Okay, and that includes human entrepreneurship, capital, and natural resources. All right, our next word is specialization. This is where a business or an area of the government or an area of the economy limits its focus to one or two areas, and this is to improve efficiency and growth. Just like in a Swiss Army knife, each of the different tools has their own skill, their own output that they have, and the knife is used to cut things, and the scissors are used to clip things, and the screwdriver is used to screw things in. The bottle opener is used to open bottles. It's just each one has their own part, and this is to improve efficiency and growth, to make things more, I would say, just limited to the point where instead of trying to do too much at once, you're focusing on just a couple things. That's specialization. You're specializing in something. All right. The next word is allocate. The next definition is to distribute for a particular purpose, specifically the factors of production. So to allocate resources. You might have seen this somewhere on your study guide already in the first part of the unit, but allocate is to distribute, to divide out. So when it says allocating resources, you're going to use those resources for specific purposes. You're not going to use, lumber to build a couch that's made out of metal or plastic, right? You're going to use it to build something out of wood. You're going to use that resource. You're going to allocate it for that specific purpose. So that makes sense. Okay, so divide out is allocate. That's a good way of thinking about it. We have inflation. Inflation, we're going to talk about when we get into the government's role in the economy and the Federal Reserve. But basically, we don't want inflation because inflation could cause, if prices go up, is basically prices go up because of inflation, because of different factors in our economy. And one of them, a student the other day asked me, why can't they just put more money into the economy? Well, the more money that's out there, the more prices will go up. It causes inflation, and that's not a good thing. So you want inflation to be stable or low. You don't want a very peaks and valleys. You want a low, steady increase over time. You don't want something to fluctuate. All right, we have the interest rate. So when you take out a loan from the bank, you go to buy a house, you go to buy a car, for college loans. This is the interest that you pay. The interest rate is what you pay over the top of your loan. So if you take out $100,000 at 4%, and it's a 20-year loan, every month, they'll charge you that 4%. So every payment is a little bit more than what you thought it would be, or what it would be if you just divided $100,000 out by 20 years, which is a few hundred months. So they don't just divide it out; they have to add the interest first, and then they divide it out. Same thing with a car payment. If you have like 1.9% interest over the life of your car, you're going to end up paying a little bit more than that sticker price because of that interest payment. All right, we got the money supply. We got a few more here. How much money is in circulation? And again, the Federal Reserve is going to control money supply, and they don't want to put too much money into circulation because of inflation. They want to keep the money supply at a certain level. If they add money to the economy, besides inflation, can have other impacts that we'll talk about when we get to the Federal Reserve. So that's the money supply. Some say the leader of the Federal Reserve, second most powerful person in our country besides the president, because they have so much impact on the economy. Here's another word that you've definitely seen before: monopoly. That's when one business, one producer, controls the market. And the goal of our mixed economy is to create competition. So when one person controls the market, one business, that's not a good thing, because then they can set prices at a higher level, and you don't have a choice but to buy from that person if you want that product or that service. So we want to keep competition. We have antitrust laws in place to make sure that a certain business can't buy out its competitors. Sometimes two companies try to merge, and it gets denied by the federal government, because then that new merged company, would have too much control over that industry in our economy. And we don't want that. We want competition. We want to make sure competition, which drives prices down and increases quality of products. So we want to keep that. All right, now the last word here, I believe, is regulate. And when you think of regulating, it's the government controlling or standardizing something. So the government, especially with this, is going to set rules. The ICC, Interstate Commerce Commission, dealing with business, right, is going to set certain rules within government for business. And if they break these rules, then there's going to be penalties, fines, sanctions against these companies, specifically in the private sector. All right, so that's all we got here. I want you to finish that by the due dates. Don't forget about it. You don't have to do it over spring break, but when we get back, don't forget about this. It's coming up. The end of the year is coming up. The end of the unit's coming up. We'll have our test in early May, and then it's SOL time, and then it's geography time. So here we go. Last set of vocab. Enjoy. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.